Hello, I am Vlad Ivkovic of the Serb Association of Texas. Recently, we've taken up a fight against minimizing the number of Serbs exterminated in the World War II. A Houston Holocaust memorial was opened in 2023 that cited the number of Serbs killed in Јасеновцу at 45 to 52,000. This was unacceptable to us, and we consider it historical revisionism. The Serb Association of Texas stood against this revisionism. In our fight, we are joined by Professor Gideon Greif, a renowned historian and scholar from Israel. Professor Greif, at our invitation, decided to visit the United States in March of 2025 and hold events in Houston and in Chicago area in front of Serbian and other communities on this particular issue. I spoke to Professor Greif about his visit. Professor Greif, thank you very much for standing with Serbian people and with the truth on this critical issue. On March 22nd this year, you will be visiting Houston and you will be speaking to the Serbian and other communities in Houston on this issue on historical revisionism and on more specifically on minimizing the number of Serbian victims of Јасеновцу that was done by Holocaust Remembrance Association in Houston last year. How alarming is this revisionism?
Any historical revisionism is bad, is negative, and I think it's an insult to the victims, to the murdered people, to the innocent murdered people, and it's unacceptable, and this is one of the reasons I'm fighting for the truth. You cannot distort facts. Facts are facts. You can't distort them, you cannot minimize them, you cannot exaggerate. You have to be authentic, you have to be realistic, you have to be historical. And this is my goal. And as a historian, I'm fighting for the facts. And facts cannot be changed according to the mood of somebody or according to some political or other interests which are not connected to the facts. You have to be realistic, and you can't change it. And that's why I'm fighting for the number of 700,000 victims, Serbs, Jews, Roma, and others, innocent people who were brutally murdered in the chain of camps under the title of Јасеноваc, which was not one place, but many places, many horrible, cruel places. And all attempts to reduce the number will fail. And I hope I can contribute to the distribution of truth, because I think this is my moral obligation towards the innocent victims. And, I always say, if I could talk to them, to those who are, they don't even have graves, to those who are buried, their ashes out there in the fields of Јасеноваc, if I would ask them, what would you like me to do? They would say, talk about us, and please do not minimize the number, because each of us suffered so much. It's not only the murder. Sometimes the murder is the end of the story. It's short. How much does it take to die? But the systematic torture system that the Ustasha authorities invented. In my book, I discovered not less than 57 methods of killing. Is one not enough? I'm asking you, really. Why do you need 57? Because they were brutal, sadistic, non-human. So the suffering is the story, and not the killing itself. Of course, killing is horrible. But we have to take into consideration the constant, permanent, systematic suffering of the prisoners. And they were subjected to horrible tortures, day and night. When you read the testimonies, you can't believe it. How can somebody be so cruel? And the Ustasha were extremely cruel. Every person who entered the gate of Јасеноваc and other concentration and extermination camps built by the Ustasha regime suffered from the first second. No wonder that so few survived. It was hell on earth. hell on earth. And this I'm trying to show in the trilogy I have written, Јасеноваc, Auschwitz of the Balkans, and the two other volumes, which have not less than 2,500 pages. I dedicated much time to reveal the truth. And to sum up, we owe this morally to the thousands, many thousands of victims, 700,000, and all attempts to minimize, to reduce the number, at the end will not succeed. They will fail, because truth is stronger than anything else. That's the world we live in. Truth always wins. It takes time. We have to be patient, but it will win.
I hope so. Before you come to Houston, the weekend before, you'll be visiting the Serbian community in Chicago, and you will be speaking on 3 occasions, at least, the weekend of March 14, 15, 16. Chicago has the largest Serbian community in America. Some say it's the second largest Serbian city in the world, after Belgrade. What is going to be your message to this large Serbian community on how to fight this injustice specifically?
First, I would like to emphasize the common denominator we Jews and the Serbian people have over decades, over history. We suffered a lot. We were persecuted. We were slaughtered. We were murdered. We were tortured. This is one thing. And then I will tell them how I started to fight for truth and what the consequences for me personally were, and they were not very nice. You know, I'm in my private life not a very courageous person, not at all. But when I'm fighting for something principle or for the truth, I'm like a lion, I'm very strong, because I know how important it is to fight for your principles, for the truth. And this is what I'm doing. And the price I'm paying is really unimportant in this case. So I will tell my friends in Chicago and later in Houston what brought me to fight, to research history, to reveal the truth, and to fight for it and not to surrender. And you can't imagine how much pressure was put on me. Terror, really. I was terrorized to change the truth, and I'm not going to do this. Never, never, never. I will stand behind the truth, because otherwise I will not be able to look into the mirror. I will stand for it, and by all means. And I would like to also share with my Serbian friends the similarity between the Holocaust and the crimes which the Ustasha authorities perpetrated against the Serbian people. There are many, many similar lines, and that's the reason my book is called Јасеноваc - Auschwitz of the Balkans. Very many similar points, common denominators. Although the Germans were not the Ustasha and the Ustasha were not the Germans, but there are very similar points of cruelty, of sadism, and this is one of the aspects I would like to share with my Serbian friends. And so I guess we will have nice meetings, and I'm really, really looking forward to meet my friends, my Serbian friends in the United States. And I'm really waiting for this trip to the United States to see the Serbian communities there. I wasn't aware that there are so many Serbs in the United States. Now I know.
Thank you very much, Professor Greif. I can't wait to be your host in the United States.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to you addressing the Serbian community and others that show up at the events. And thank you very much for standing with us.